Hello and welcome to another lockdown video. I hope you're safe and well. This is our paddock right here. And if I just climb over the fence as I've just done and go through the bramble bush, you'll see something languishing in the ditch just the other side of our fence. And I thought, you know, this would be quite a fun lockdown video to do. Have a quick whiz around a minivan that's probably been here 30, 40, maybe even 50 years. It's thanks to the goats really that we discovered it, because they escape, as goats do, and nick other people's roses and prized petunias. But when we had to go and get them from down here, we discovered the remains really of an old minivan. In the summer it's almost impossible to get to. There's brambles and God knows what else stopping you to get down here. But this time of the year it's perfect. And as it's locked down, let's have a look. Now, there's not much left, if I'm honest. It's not going to be what, remember that Longbridge Mini that was discovered underground and sold for some silly amount of money? This is worse than that. I mean, you can still tell it's a Mini, but nature is reclaiming it. We have an old Lucas light cluster there. The lens is long gone. I think a magpie probably stole it. Moving down the side, I mean the panel itself is still there, although it's not long for this world. And then you can see in there the steering wheel and the steering column. I mean, it's almost, if you come back again, it's almost as though the body is collapsed around the outside of the chassis and the wheels. It's almost, when it's slammed to the ground, isn't it? Let's go back in. Well, let's see this. Here we go. Look, there's an old back door here. One of the old rear doors. It's clearly it's been two different shades of blue in its life. What do you reckon? The last one was clearly dark blue. It's been lighter blue in the past. The hinge is still hanging on for grim life. Sorry, spiders. You probably thought it had a safe base there. Oh, I mean, it's actually falling apart in my hands. Coming in through the back. Yeah, your load capacity's been compromised by the collapse. I mean, look at it. Look at the rust. It's just falling apart in your hands. Through the cobwebs to avoid your discovery. I'm getting stuck on the bodywork as I go in. The chances of tetanus are quite high here. There's one seat there. The other seat, well, there's bits of the other seat there still. That seat's actually holding the roof up. You can still see, I'll come around the other way to get in there, closer look. What about a roof vent on the top? The roof vent has, well, there's now a permanent roof vent on the top, more like a sunroof. Oh, look, there's the other seat. There's the other seat, minus stinging nettles. Oh, yeah, it's not in great shape. Although saying that, I could put this on eBay, shoot it on a white background, and probably get a few grand for it as a drain find almost, or a ditch find. Yeah, I think even a salvage hunter's guy has less trouble doing anything with this. The steering wheel looks in remarkably good shape. Very retro. You actually still see the covering on it. Still see the little bits of stitching. Question is it a Morris or an Austin? It's hard to tell. My guess, late 60s, possibly, maybe 1970, it's that sort of era. Certainly one of the early ones. Oh, hang on, there's a wheel there. Okay, that's survived pretty well. It's dented, unfortunately. The original hubcap has survived pretty well. Maybe down the side, so I've got my shadow, apologise for that. There's an old bits of glass there from the old door, from the old window. Again, that's not bad. No markings on it. I'm almost afraid to touch it because I don't want to damage it. Sounds weird. I feel bad for damaging it. I'm going to go underneath this to see what's under there. Foam. There is something there though, hang on. Let's go through the front. Some of the pipe's still there. That's quite remarkable. Look, there's what I think is the original sun visor. Oh wow, look. Full of water. The original mini sun visor. Look at that. It's probably been here 40 years, just sort of, well, not doing much sun vising. I'm just seeing what else. I'll go on the other side, see what's in there. The engine block. What would this be, an 850? Oh, there's a wing. The wing has winged it. The wing is no longer part of the car. So, you know what? I'm going to put that back just to make it feel like a car again. Putting the wing back just kind of gives it hope that it might live again, which it's not. All four wheels are still attached. Tyres don't look great. Tyres didn't look great before they came in by the looks of it. And here's the bonnet. Look at that. Again, holes in the bonnet. Just work out this new gimbal I bought. It's not very good. Well, it is good. I'm just rubbish at it. Now, 3 holes there. So does that give us a clue in terms of what badge it would be? Would that be Morris with the wings either side? Is this a Morris minivan? I'm sure somebody out there who's more up on minis than I am will tell me. But I'm pretty sure the Morris had a badge with wings. So is that a Morris badge? Answer on the postcard to the usual address. Just spotted something, hang on. I'm just going to go back in here again. Look, there's the old dashboard cowling, which have had a centre set of dials. Something's happened to the readout. It's also got no fuel in it. Bummer. Again, I'm not an expert. There's the that's where you would have filled up with fuel back in the day, back when fuel was cheap. And there's another piece of the bodywork there. It's quite remarkable, really, how nature is reclaiming it. It wouldn't be a PetrolBlog video if the goats weren't part of it. And so, yeah, we've been spending the day putting new fence posts up to keep them out of here. So they're looking at me just to say, well, where's our plaything gone? And there we have it. Again, you'd have seen by the title of the video that it's a Mk1 Ford Transit. In many ways, this is almost more remarkable than the Mini. It's another British icon of its time. This was the backbone of Britain, although this one's backbone is definitely broken. But again, you have to wonder why it was put here and why it was left here, I guess, is more to the point. I mean, Mk1 Transits are worth quite a bit. You look on eBay, Car and Classic, they are sought after things. Although, not in this state, it has to be said. This one has seen better days. It's a Mk1 Ford Transit Custom. And it's got twin rear wheels at the back. And at some point, well, it's blue. last colour was blue. So you have to wonder if the Mini, which is over there, and the Transit are linked, because the colour scheme is almost exactly the same. This was two-tone blue. So clearly part of the same business. I've never really had a close-up of this one. Again, in the summer, it's almost... Well, you can't get to it in the summer because of the brambles. And look at the trees. Nature is reclaiming this Transit. I mean, it's like quite iconic, actually. I mean, you can tell it's a Transit by the roof. The roof design is quite iconic. And you've got those vents in the back. And this kind of revolutionised the van industry, didn't it? This was a game changer. I hate to use that overused phrase, but this was a game changer for the van world. And wasn't there a statistic that 95% of all bank jobs were done in a Transit van because they had the performance and the load capacity? I've got my kind of murderer's gloves on, so it's kind of apt. So the wheel is slowly falling back to nature. It looks like there's a horn there. There's a horn. It's my guess again is late 60s. It's going to be the same sort of era as the Mini. There's a door here which is, well, it's kind of grown around, the tree has grown around it. Can't. Oh. Well, the interesting thing here is there's a front bumper. The front bumper. Chrome front bumper, and it's heavy. Oh, and the really cool thing, is it has a front number plate. So that is going to tell us, assuming we can read it, that is going to tell us how old she is. There we go. What's that? XM695G. What is that? That gives it the late 60s, 68, 69. So yeah, early Transit. Wow. Because these came out in 65, didn't they? The Transit. That was when they launched. This is a relatively new one. I do love the black number plate with the pressed letters. So cool. So cool. What else is left? Well, again, the steering wheel's still in one piece. So, when the apocalypse has come, the steering wheels will still be there. Just see it through there, through the undergrowth. The weird thing is on this, the whole thing is kind of collapsed sideways because it was parked up relatively straight. Although I think it's sort of fallen into the ditch. And at some point in its life, it was purple. So maybe this was Deep Purple's tour bus. Maybe they all crammed in the back of this to go to the casino. Part of the old inner wheel arch. Wow, I mean, this here is just a mess of leaf springs, axles, chassis, roof bits. Is that part? That's from the back, isn't it? Is that from the... It's had many layers of paint. It's quite cool. Let's see if I can... The stories this van could tell. There's the purple. Cadbury purple almost, or more milk a cow. So maybe this was the milk a cow's full Transit. Not sure what these are. Is this what it carried? Don't know. There's just a mismatch of, but the headline is still white. There really isn't much left, is there? I think it's fascinating to see something like this that's been out in the elements to such an extent. I mean, this has seen all weathers. Wind, rain, snow. And I guess this is what the PetrolBlog fleet would look like if I left them exposed. Do love the Transit wheels. Almost, I hate to use the word, but almost iconic. Look at those deep dish wheels, fantastic. And they were white. So this would have rolled around in milk cacao purple with white wheels at some point. That is super cool. Super cool, and yet it was just left to rot away with the tractors. I'm sure people who know what tractors will tell me it's a very cool tractor, but maybe we'll come back and do that another time, assuming I still got followers left on YouTube. But yeah, I mean, you know, the best thing about that is discovering that. I bet it's no longer registered. I bet there's no details of it online. It's just bits of metal, and there's a door mirror. Almost probably should try and protect that. Probably aren't many of those left. Oh, camera's doing weird things. But yeah, look at the roof. You're a braver person than I am if you decide to walk on that roof. I don't think you'd make it. Yeah, that's it, really. I just wanted to make the most of the lockdown by showing a couple of drain finds, ditch finders. Next video will be, as promised, the Mercedes W123. Either way, thanks for watching. Stay safe.